Well, Sarah, we think so. And that's certainly what we're seeing, all the indicators that we've seen. You had the chart up in an earlier segment showing consumer spending across a whole wide range of categories. We've been out in the market last week, several thousand shoppers, talking to them constantly. Last week, talking to them specifically about inflation. And the overwhelming number of them, more than 2/3, think that it's the government as the source of the problem here. That's often the answer that people give about problems. In this case, it's probably true in terms
What
of
do you
what's
mean?
driving demand. Well, I think the view is, and these are pretty sophisticated, we dive down and ask a little more, the question more deeply. We say, what is the cause? And I think they recognize that the excess demand is being driven by all the money that's out in the marketplace. And they've got specific policy prescriptions to drive inflation. So, I don't think it's worth spending a lot of time trying to understand the source of the inflation, but it is important as we understand the policy prescriptions. We certainly see it as demand-driven, not supply chain-driven inflation. And so as we think about the right kinds of solutions going forward, we need solutions. Obviously, the Federal Reserve is going to do what it does. That's going to impact demand. But how do we really help consumers, and especially those at the lower incomes? That needs to be part of the prescription for policy solutions going forward.
Yeah, Dana, the news that what Matt just said and the Bank of America spending data looks like the consumer's holding up remarkably well, given these inflationary forces. 10.8% jump in food prices at home in April. But you wouldn't know it from the retail stock. Some of these names, I'm looking at PVH, VF Corp, Tapestry, 50% off the recent highs. So where's the disconnect coming from?
I think overall, every company is impacted by inflation as it affects every single input cost, along with the increasing gas prices, increasing raw materials costs. There is no magic bullet. It can't be avoided. And I think pricing power is the key. Exactly like you said, Sarah, these stocks, when you look at the S&P indices, I mean, you have consumer discretionary, which is off in excess of 27%, while you look at staples, which is hanging in much better. I think it's pricing power that's going to make the difference. And until we see stability in the top line, that is what everyone is looking for. It's almost as if the whites of the company's eyes need to be shown in terms of when it does stop, what's the sales levels going to look like.
So what are your top two favorites right now, given you've got a lot to pick from with some of the recent damage?
I'm about pricing power. Who has margins? Who has pricing power to help offset some of this inflation and combat it? I look at Estee Lauder. I look at Ulta. I look at Lululemon and LVMH. I want to be in luxury where the margins are there.
Matt, what about online retail? Etsy is down again, another 8%. This stock has been slammed so much. The pandemic darlings, even Amazon, losing a bulk of its pandemic gains. What happens to those stocks as people have shifted back to in-store, and there are questions about just how much growth lies ahead?
Well, Sarah, one of the things that we certainly saw over the course of the last year, in 2021 in particular, was that growth in online sales was matched by growth in stores. So people were really back out there in stores. The 14% growth we saw last year in retail sales on an annualized basis in 2021 was divided pretty evenly between the online side and the bricks and mortar side. And so certainly the companies that have gotten much more sophisticated about the way in which they combine those experiences for consumers, how they use the stores to do fulfillment, how they use the stores to create engagement opportunities, how they use online to drive foot traffic and vice versa. I think those companies, and you know some of them, and we've got thousands of members, and every big name you mentioned is a member. So we love them all. I can't pick stocks the way you and Dana can. But I would say in terms of those that are going to be winners and losers, the sophisticated operators that move seamlessly between online and using the store, I think they've got a lot of opportunity.
Well, yeah, no, that's a helpful color. Matt, Dana, thank you. We'll leave it there. Appreciate it. Matt Shay, Dana Telsey.